Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Monday's Moment video on what is here in the UK a rather windy and stormy day, and you might even hear the wind thrashing against the office windows there as I broadcast this live. Today I want to talk about this. I was drinking a glass of this yesterday and it inspired me to think about why did I pick this off a shelf that had so many of my other favourite whiskies and scotches on there. And today I want to talk about how image is so important in stopping our prospects and our potential next best customers in their tracks. See you in a moment. Now, as I was relaxing yesterday, we went quite a long walk in the wind and the rain and decided to come back and sort a few bits and bobs out in my office. I've rearranged my walls in here, although the bookcase behind me is staying the same. And I reached out and thought, you know what, I'm just going to have a glass of this Tennessee straight whiskey with an E. And one of the things that I looked at as I got this bottle, it reminded me of the buying decision that I made when actually I reached for that bottle, and it was one of many on a shelf, and essentially, you know, all the shelf was full of whiskey and scotches and bourbons and all things sort of whiskey based. And you could argue, well, how do you make the choice? And yes, I've got my name brands that I know, I've got my favourites that I know, but this bottle stood out. And I've talked about on previous videos the fact that we need a hook. If we're going to share a story, if we're going to get somebody to take notice of our product, we need something that stops our customers in our tracks. Otherwise, what we are is we're just the same product, the same service in the same street with all those sheep doing the same thing. And the guy that's up there on the image is walking by our shop front. They're not paying attention, they're just walking by, and we have just 7 strides to stop somebody in their track. That guy walking by there, he has 7 strides to be caught and stopped and grabbed his attention. And that's what this bottle of Daddy Rack did for me, because the image, not just the bottle, but the image on it stopped me in my tracks. And when we think about our sales message, when we think about our identity, we need to think so hard as well about our images that we use. We need to use images that don't just conform, but images that help us stand out from the crowd. You know, we want to make a difference and stand out from those that we're competing against. So today it's a very quick moment. What can you do on your product or your service to make it stand out like this? I want to finish off with one other thing here as well. It's really important that when we decide to stand out from the crowd, it's really important that we actually take some time to make sure that the expectations that we're setting are meeting the product and service that we're supplying. So, you know, I had high expectations of this and I wasn't disappointed. You know, as you can see, there's not a lot left in it. That wasn't all yesterday, by the way. But if you're going to stand out, if you're going to stop people in your tracks, if you're going to give a great message and a great image, the expectations of having a great product and a great service will be set. It's your role then as the business owner to make sure that those expectations are met as well as set. Is it everything that I was promised? Is it everything that I dreamed of from the image that I was given? Daddy Rack certainly was, and it's now one of my favourites, and it's going to be one of my favourites on my list. But we need to make sure that if we're going to stand out, if we're going to grab people's attention, that we don't disappoint, because word will spread about us very quickly, but also poor reviews will spread even more quickly. And with that in mind, I want to help you make the most of 2022. As I record this, I've got my final webinar of the series, my final online event, Make the Most of 2022, 90-minute free workshop. It's happening this week, February the 23rd at 5 p.m. UK time, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to attend that, you can go to just comment below this, or you can go to my website and check that out. And it's the landing page you want is www.sterlinghyphen-coaching.com/make the most of 2022 2022. And hopefully I'll see you on the webinar this week. It's going to be the last one of the series until the end of the year, when we start thinking about 2023. But it's the last one, and I'd love to have you on there. And of course, I'd love you to join my Facebook groups as well. But enough about that. Think about images, think about Daddy Rack, and think about how that bottle can stop you in your tracks on the shelf, and how you and your product and your service and your images can do the same. Not just the message, but the images too. And I'll see you on next week's Monday's Moment, which hopefully will be less windy. Bye for now.